All right. Good morning, everybody. This is Kai Deering with On the Fly with Kai. Today is Thursday, April 29th, 2021, and I'm super excited to have one of my friends and neighbors. In fact, we live kind of right down the street from each other. And I was excited to get to know her. I met her networking, and I try to bring to you people that I actually know or have done business with. And she and I have been working and collaborating on a project, but we've known each other for years from networking. And one of the things I love about her is just she's totally understated, but has a huge heart, which really comes through in her career. And so she was 20 years a government worker back on the East Coast, came back to her roots here a little over a decade ago, and has been doing a video business in her retirement years. And it's just been so fun to be able to get to know her, hang out with her. Can't wait till we are able to be fully vaccinated, go hang out in each other's yards again and see each other for real. But I thought it would be fun because we always want to bring tips, tricks, and hacks for the entrepreneurs. Brings a dear friend of mine here to the studio, Miss Judy Blair, videographer. So I'm excited to have you here. Hi, thanks for coming.
Hi, Kai. Thank you so much. I've been looking forward to this because your flies are always so much fun.
Well, once people are on, we're able to also ask questions. They can interact, and so I love that about this program as well. And I know we've got people in here that are long-term entrepreneurs that watch the show, people that are budding entrepreneurs and maybe thinking about making that leap. And you waited until you had been retired to be able to kind of take that plunge, if you will. So I love to ask people how they got started being an entrepreneur and doing their passion like you've done. So tell everyone a little bit about how you got started.
Well, when I retired from the federal government back east, I started, well, I'd always take photos. All my life I've been taking photos. And so I'd go to neighborhood parties and take photos. And then I turned them into slideshows. Back then I had to use PowerPoint. It was funny. And I gave them as gifts to the hosts of the parties. And they told me I should do this as a business. So that's how I got started. And then I got a video camera and everything moved forward from that. I was doing neighbors, children's parties, birthday parties, graduation parties. And then we came back home to California and Chamber of Commerce, and things just grew. So, yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I started doing testimonial videos for small businesses. And I made a decision early on. Someone's knocking around the neighborhood here. That's what that noise was.
I can't hear it, so you're good.
Yeah. So I hope they're not knocking down my house. But anyway, so I started doing testimonial videos and made a decision early on that I was going to work with small businesses, because small businesses need videos and they need help. There are lots of people to work with corporate, so I made a clear distinction that I was going to work primarily with small businesses.
Yeah, and I know we talked about, I mean, we talked about video a lot, but there's a bunch of different types of business videos that people can do. So tell folks a little bit about the different types of videos that they can do for a business.
Well, I think everyone needs an about video, kind of an introductory video for their website or YouTube channel where they can introduce themselves to potential clients. Because everybody knows when potential clients get to know you, they get a feel for you. And if they know, like, and trust you, that's when they'll do business with you. So an about video is pretty important. And then sales videos just don't fly. So what you want to do is do information. Give your potential clients information about your products or your processes or services that you offer. So product videos, how-to videos, like one person I know, he sells furniture. And in the videos that we did together, he was talking about how do you use a sit-stand desk. How do you set an ergonomic chair? How do you figure out what is the best chair or desk to buy for your needs? So, and then, well, we already covered testimonial videos. So those are the main ones that you should have.
So how long should they be? And if the audience has questions, we can see their questions. So if you have any questions for Judy Blair, please go ahead and put them in there. But tell us a little bit about how long they should be. So your about videos, your info videos, and how-to videos. What's the magic number for how long they should be?
Well, the magic number is 90 seconds. The max, I would say, is 3 minutes. And I can't tell you how many people come to me and they say, well, I want to do a 30-minute video. And I say, no, you don't. No, actually, what we do is we talk about what they want to cover in those 30 minutes. And then it turns out that they can really be broken down into shorter segments. And so that's how we get shorter videos, because everyone knows their business and they want to talk forever about it.
Well, and some people seems like, okay, so let's be totally transparent. It seems like some people's businesses would be a lot easier to find things to talk about than other people's videos. Have you ever been stumped before? Like, I don't even know what to talk about with these people, because I know we talked about scripting. So maybe you can talk a little bit about that too.
Well, the thing about the videos that I do is I don't interview people. People talk about their own business, and what I have them do is write a script ahead of time. And then I look at the script and we go over it. And the reason I ask them to write their script is to get them focused. I just mentioned that they could talk forever about their own business. And if they start talking about it without a script, then it could go on and on and on. And I do not make them follow their script word for word. You'll see some behind the scenes videos where the videographer is making them repeat and repeat and repeat and do it over and over because they got a word wrong. Well, I just have them basically follow the script that they wrote to keep them focused. They don't have to be word for word. So that's why my videos look natural, because they aren't scripted and reading something off a prompter. They're talking naturally, but they know what to talk about.
Now, we talked also about testimonial videos, and that's kind of how you got your start in your business, was doing those. And so I know you're an expert in testimonial videos. What works? What doesn't work? What advice can you give business owners who maybe want to ask some of their clients? How do you ask them? What are you looking for? Talk about testimonials.
Well, as I said before, most of the videos need to be 3 minutes or shorter. And a testimonial video is really pretty simple. The client gives a little bit of background about what the problem or the issue was, or what they wanted to do, what wasn't working. Then they talk about their experience with the person that did such great work for them, or they did such great work for them, and what the results were. So basically 3 things, the problem, what they did, and what was so wonderful about it.
And then do you recommend that the business owner script that for the person, or have them do their own?
I had a very funny experience. And when I say funny, it was actually pretty awful. She had her client do a testimonial for her, which I thought was great. But she didn't like it because she didn't say X, Y, and Z in it. So she wrote the script for her client. Her client couldn't memorize it. She was like a deer in headlights. It was horrible. And so we had to trash that whole thing. And then later we were talking afterwards, and I turned on my camera, because what she was giving was from the heart, good experience, and describing what worked, totally unscripted, totally not knowing she was being recorded. And that's the one we used.
Right? So it's important to have it short and have it scripted, but not memorized on a teleprompter. I love it. There's so much, Judy, do it yourself stuff out there, from software to edit and this and that. And you can do cell phone videos. Tell people, how do they do it if they want to do it themselves?
Well, the truth is, I mean, I have lots of expensive video cameras, and a lot of times I use my cell phone. And a lot of other professional videographers use their cell phones because the camera quality is so good. So if someone who has a small business wanted to do their own videos, they could, using their cell phone and a tripod and a little bit of work, like deciding ahead of time what they're going to say, basically writing a script. And then the problem becomes, depending on how they're going to use that video, getting it produced. Like if you're going to do Instagram or Facebook, you can upload videos directly from your cell phone. But if you want to upload something to YouTube or some other place, it might be a little bit more complicated, and you might need video production software. And that's where you would definitely need to call someone like me. I mean, I can take a video that you have created, and then I can take it and edit it. I just had someone give me a huge testimonial video that someone did for her. It was very long, and I had to edit it down and then put it into a format that she could upload to the web. There's a lot to it. There's another thing. Since the pandemic, it's been really easy to do your own videos with Zoom. You just open up Zoom and you start a new meeting, and you can record yourself talking on Zoom. And there's no other person on the screen with you. It's just you. But you can read your script if you have it strategically placed. There are some tricks, though, to using Zoom for your own video. First of all, you have to place your laptop at face level so that the camera is actually a little bit above your eyes. You might have been on Zoom meetings before where people have their laptop on the desktop and they're looking down and you see all their double chins. And you don't want that in a professional video. And then the other thing is the background. You want something that looks uncluttered, professional. I mean, I'm sitting here in my office, which if I were going to do my own video, I would have a better background. And then the lighting. You need to make sure that you are not sitting in front of a window with the window behind you, because all the light comes from behind and your face then is very dark. So if you have a window and you're going to use that, then you turn around and you face the window so all the light is on your face. And if you don't have that, then you use some sort of artificial light to light up your face. So those are the main things. Yeah, but raising the laptop may sound difficult for people. But all you have to do is, like, I have an old bed tray that's like this, it's like a big box, and I set mine on top of that. You can use a box top, you can use a file box, you can use anything that will raise your laptop up.
We also talked about, taking your cell phone videos outside and the danger of some of the sound issues.
Well, yeah, a lot of people say, well, I want my video taken outside. Now, if you have a very secluded outdoor place where there are no outdoor sounds, that's possible, but you would also need to have a lavalier mic to be able to make sure that your sound is captured close. But you always run the danger of having trucks zooming by, airplanes flying overhead. Here in Sunnyvale, we've got a whole crew of parrots that fly by squawking all the time. I mean, you never know what you're going to get outside.
And those big airplanes that go to Moffett Field.
Exactly. So those are the reasons I do not recommend doing them outside. Now, what you can do is you can do a bunch of pictures, or you can do video and not use the audio from it. I mean, you could get creative with the kinds of videos you're going to do, just not using the audio. You could do voiceover.
Mm. What kind of software would you recommend if someone's going to do it themselves to be able to edit their business video?
Well, if you have an iPhone, you've got iMovie right on your cell phone, but it's really kind of limited. I mean, you can trim the front and the back of it easily. There are other cell phone apps that you can get. Well, and if you're a Mac user, most people use iMovie on the Mac, and I'm a PC person, so I use Adobe on my desktop. But
Yeah.
there are tons of options these days. When I started 15 years ago, there just weren't that many applications for the consumer. Mostly the professionals had a couple apps, and they didn't even call them apps then, they called them programs. And they were special programs that you spent thousands of dollars to buy. But now there are so many options and very inexpensive, so people can do a lot of things.
Yeah, no, agreed. And we do a lot of collaboration and thought and think tanking on social media. And so I would love for you to address a little bit, because you do a lot of video on social media. So how important is social media in your business versus pictures versus video?
Well, what I've studied about Instagram, which is what I'm working on now, I still do put some things on Facebook as well, but they say videos get more views. And with Instagram, they're competing with TikTok. And so they are giving the Instagram users a lot more credits for using Reels, which look very much like TikTok videos. They're very short. They have some music selections you can use with them. And some professional, like there's one person who does a video school, and she is very proficient in using Reels. And they are supposed to get you the most views. They're harder to do because it takes some time. You've got either 16 seconds or 30 seconds for a reel. And it's a challenge to learn to work with them, but some people do very well with them.
Yeah, I feel like video gets you a lot higher ranking as well. So having that available, but it is a pain in the neck. So speaking of pain in the neck and doing your own videos, because there is a lot of tools, and like you said, you can do a pretty good professional video on your own if you're paying attention to, like you said, your lighting, the positioning, and all that. When would you and why would you hire someone like you as a professional to do your video?
Well, most of my clients don't have the time to do their own. And they may not be, their skills lie with their business, and those skills may not include technology, and they don't want to spend the time to learn how to use video tools and apps and cameras and all that. So they would just rather hire someone to do it for them. And that makes sense. And if if a small business wants to hire me to do like a long video, and as we talk, we discover that there really could be 4 or 5 videos in there, then I give them a package price for shooting all the videos on the same day. Because I don't have overhead to pay for, like a storefront videographer with a studio and employees. So I do it all myself, so I can afford to schedule the time and do it all in the same day and give them a break in terms of the price when we do it all at once.
Yeah, and I know that, hiring a professional, you have a pretty good eye. You've talked about moving furniture and things like that. What is the process like?
Okay, because I don't have my own studio, I go to my clients. Sometimes I go to a showroom or their business place. Sometimes we do it from their home. And so the first thing I do when we go in is assess the surroundings. And I usually pick a corner or a blank wall or a wall in front of a bookcase. And sometimes we have to clean off the bookcase to really make it simple and uncluttered. Sometimes I move furniture around. A lot of times I move furniture around. And then lighting. I do bring my own lighting with me, but if the client has lighting that works, that saves some extra setup time. And so the other thing I have to pay attention to is it a quiet room? Is it a room on a busy street? Or do we have to look in the back of the house away from the street where we don't get street noises? I love the trucks that come zooming by.
Yeah, I can hear all the planes right now above my head. Now that you mention it, I don't really notice them till you say that. And I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah.
And the planes you just can't do anything about. I mean, the planes are so loud over my house. If I'm on the telephone and a plane flies by, we just have to pause the conversation till they're gone. And so if that happens while we're doing a video shoot, we just got to hold off until the planes are gone and pick it up again.
Yeah. So at what point, like I said, would they hire you versus doing their own? They don't have the time. Is it to get more professional quality? So is it just a time issue? Like, hey, I just don't have time to do all this?
No, it's not just time. It's the wherewithal. Do they want to spend the learning curve, the time to learn how to do it all? Some people just are not very techno oriented. You know, their interests and their business is elsewhere. And I have the technology and the know-how that they don't have. And so that's what they're paying for.
Yeah.
The video skills, I mean, all the other things that go into it. And it always is good to have a second opinion. I mean, whether it's medical or video, a second opinion is always good. And so you may think that you have the perfect video script. And then when you get someone like me looking at it, it might change a little bit because a second set of eyes is always good.
Yeah, for sure. And then just on a personal note, I know you also are obsessed with your personal family legacy videos. Do you want to make a quick comment on that here? Because I know not only are we multifaceted, we're not just a business owner, we have families and things like that. And I know that's a real hot button for you. And you love making sure people record, not just for their businesses, but for personal. So in the few minutes we have remaining, is there anything you want to share about that? Because I know you're super passionate about that. And I love that about you.
Oh, yes. So preserving the family history and memories for the future generations is what my family legacy movies are all about. And you yourself have told me that you wish that you had taken videos of your mom talking about her life and her stories. And too often I hear, well, it's too late because they're gone. So I'm on a mission to help people become aware that they need to do it now. That's one of the things that people are always putting off. Oh, well, I'm going to do that one day. But one day may never come because none of us knows how long we have on this earth. So I'm always encouraging people to capture their parents or their grandparents' stories, the family history. And it's for the future generations. It's not for us. And we have to remember that. if you really care about your kids knowing about their family legacy, now is the time to do it.
Yeah, and
I
that was
mean,
just a little bonus, right? Because I feel like, I would be remiss if I didn't, your talk about your personal legacy videos, because I know you're very, very, very good at those and passionate about putting those together. So, any first steps if they haven't done anything for that? Like, what's the number one thing that they should do? Is maybe Zoom interview them while we're here, or what would you recommend if they haven't started? Like things I wish I would have done.
well, the first thing to do is talk with your parents or grandparents and tell them what you want to do. And a lot of times with the older generations, they don't want to be seen on video. And somehow you have to talk to them and help them realize that, um, you want your grandkids to be able to see them the way they are. Doesn't matter how they look, whether they think they're beautiful or not, or if they think they have too many wrinkles. You tell them the video will hide a lot of the wrinkles, but so you got to warm them up and get them to agree to do this. And then if you're far away, doing it on Zoom is a great idea. And you can have, if you have a number of sessions with them. I have a client now whose mother is in the Midwest and she has cancer. So they're trying to do as much of them as they can now. And she's giving me the videos that I'm going to put into a longer family legacy movie. And then my clients give me the pictures, because what I do is I interweave the pictures with the videos that support the stories that the person is talking about. And those pictures can come later.
You do an amazing job. You really do. If people want to, engage with you for business videos or personal family legacy videos, tell people how they would find you and how that would work.
They can go to my website, which is keepsakepics.com. That's PIX.com. There are contact forms all over it. They can see samples of business and family legacy videos there. They can find me on Instagram under Keepsake Pics. They can find my Keepsake Pics page on Facebook. So there, and then if you just Google Keepsake Pics, they'll find my info in Google as well.
Great. I included it in the comments here, so that should show up on the Facebook page as well as the other page. With that, Judy, I just want to say thank you so much for coming on the show here today. It was very fun to be able to have you, and I can't wait to go hang out and have some fun.
Oh, me too. We can sit outside and have our coffee or whatever, go downtown, hang out at the Bean Scene on the street.
I know, right?
Maybe even inside Bean Scene soon. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, thanks again. And everybody, this has been the episode 19, season 2 of On the Fly with Kai. We come to you live every Thursday at 10 a.m. Pacific, all time zones in between. And our goal is to bring you some tips, tricks, and hacks for entrepreneurs. And with that, I want to say take care, take charge. We'll see you guys over the top and next week. Bye-bye, everybody. Thanks, Judy.
Thank you. Bye.